Hi there. This is Rebecca Stark, and I am chiming in to do a DNF video. I know I have not been as consistent lately. Life has been lifing, is the term I like to use, a little phrase. But I am popping in to do a DNF video and to share some verses that I think remind us not to be afraid. So every so often, I like to throw a few verses your way, just in my own daily Bible verse review. I'll come across a couple that I think complement each other nicely, and really together they all share a similar ethos, if you will. So I feel like I'm getting the same message over and over again in these three verses, and indeed, this journey into the Bible verses that say, do not fear, that repetition is there. We need it. It's that just continual reminder of, hey, I'm God, and you don't need to be afraid. God saying, hey, I've got this, and let me have this. So my only debate right now is how many verses I want to pile on you, because there really are uh, one, two, three, four. There are five verses that all just kind of complement each other and say the same thing. So why not? We'll just go for five, and we'll see what I can get out of there. So the first one is Hebrews 10:36, and that verse says, "Patient endurance is what you need now, so that you will continue to do God's will. Then you will receive all that He has promised." So just that reminder, that very gentle, hey, if you are patient and you kind of hang in there through whatever this challenge is, whatever this trial is, whatever's going on, if you are patient and you endure what is happening, and continue to do God's will, then you will receive all He has promised. And that's lovely. That's just a reminder. Don't be afraid. God's got this. Just hang in there. And then Psalm 73, verses 23 and 24. So officially, this is going to be 6 verses if I get through all of them. This Psalm 73, 23 to 24 says, "But I am always with you. You hold my hand. You guide me with your counsel, and later will lead me to glory." I mean, see how it's kind of the same thing? You're always with me. Be patient. Guide me with your counsel. Later you'll lead me to glory. We saw it. Later you'll receive all that you've been promised. So that just, listen, you might not be reaping the benefits of life right now, but don't worry. Hang in there. It's coming. So in that same vein, Micah 7:7, "But I will look to the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me." So that's, again, this like sense of, I'm just throwing my prayers out there and just hoping and trusting that, God, you hear me and you're going to answer me. And that's always a that's always a fun place to be in, where it's, God, I'm lifting my prayers up to you, and I know you hear me, and I trust that you will hear me. So okay, I'm going to skip one. We're going to skip down, and we're going to do Romans 8:25. "But if we hope for what we do not yet have, we wait for it patiently." Do you see the thread? Every single one of those says, be patient, hope, wait, trust, and know that later the reward's coming. If we hope for what we do not yet have, we wait for it patiently. That's Romans 8:25. So in my own life, there's certainly been times, and I kind of am in one of those times right now, but there have been times where I was going and praying, and, God, give me the guidance. Let me serve you. Let me, certainly in the years of fertility treatments, God, if it be your will, let me be a mother. Help me get to that point. And it didn't happen right away. And gosh, that was so frustrating. That was so hard. I remember being in, we had a Bible study, a group. It was a young married couples group, and the leader was saying, if you ask God, He will answer your prayers. And my hand just went up, and I said, I have been praying. I have praying ever so faithfully and just ever so stringently, and just, God, please, I just want to be a mother. Help me be a mother. And God, and it's not, I'm not going to say God didn't answer. It's just that God's answer was not yet. And it was hang in there. And that's frustrating. That's a hard place to be. So all of this is very relevant right now because I've been trying to help a client. I've been trying to help a client find a house, and it's tough. It's tough, and it's not because there aren't houses out there. They have very specific parameters of here's what we want, and then they have obstacles and challenges that are making it difficult for them to get approved to get into a house. So I had to do a very difficult thing as a real estate agent and just back away and just say, here's a couple of resources. Here's a couple of places I want you to call. Give them a call and see if one of these organizations can help you. And yeah, God bless, may it work out for you, because I've done all that I can. And what's left to be done is really work that needs to be done on my client's side. So it's hard to do that. It's really hard to walk away and not have that sense of completion and that satisfaction of, oh yes, I finally connected a person with their home. I mean, that's kind of why I'm in this business. That's why I do it. But it's just not happening. And it hard. And not to say there weren't prayers, and it's not to say that I don't believe this. Patient endurance is what you need now, so that you will continue. Please continue to do God's will, and then you will receive all that He has promised. And then God saying in Psalm 73, but I am always with you, and you hold my hands. I think this is David talking to God, but you get the sense, I am always with you. God, you are always with me. You guide me with your counsel, and later you lead me to glory. I trust that is all true. That's true for me. That's true for my client. That's true for you, whatever might be going on. But I will look to the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Oh, you feel that. You feel that almost desperation, that there's hope, but there's also just, almost that fear, or almost that panic of like, that anxiousness of I need an answer, God. I need an answer. And Romans 8:25, but if we hope for what we do not yet have, we wait for it patiently. So I don't know where you are. I don't know if you're in a season of waiting, or if you are, everything's copacetic and hunky-dory in your life, or if you're like my client and your life is just not where you want it to be, and you're just getting frustrated. Hang in there. Just hang in there. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep asking God, what would you have me do for you? And keep trusting. I do these videos because I want to remind you that God tells us over and over again not to be afraid. And there's so many, there's a lot of reasons, but there's a lot of rabbit holes we can run down and fall into that trap of fear. And I'm just encouraging you, don't fall into that trap of fear. Look to God's word, pray, talk to fellow believers, and reach out. You can reach out to me, but just know, you might be in a difficult spot, and you might be in a place where you're saying, I don't know how God is going to get me out of this, but I don't know either, but God is going to do great things. So just hang in there, and thanks so much for tuning in. Bye bye.